Hi guys, my name is Anna. I am a 29-year-old mechanical engineering student, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about being an adult student. Now, there are two types of students when you go into college. There are your younger students, which are usually about 18 years old, and then there are what you call your adult students, who are usually a lot older. I happen to be just 29, but I know there's older students out there. I've met like a 45-year-old, a 50-year-old, so it kind of ranges. When you're older, I feel like it's 21, I want to say. When you're older than 21, you're considered an adult student. What that means, it's just that, is it 21? I can't remember what age, but either way. It just means that you're a little older than what the younger student is, I guess. That's what you're classified under. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about how it is to be an adult student. So currently I do work. I am a florist, and then I also do Instacart on the side because I always need extra money. And then I go to school. So, typically, I like to stick, when it comes to taking class credits, I like to stick anywhere between 8 and 12 credits. So I can be a part-time or a full-time student depending on the semester. Usually during my fall semester, I am more of a full-time student because as a florist, you know, I can't really be a full-time student during the spring because there's just way too many holidays like Valentine's Day, there's Mother's Day, and then you have your weddings as well. So it gets kind of crazy, and I know that I won't be able to effectively time manage to make sure that I get the, you know, the grade that I want. So yeah, I like to organize my my weekly calendar. I do a weekly calendar that allows me to organize my assignments and then also work as well. Because I am an adult student, I have bills to pay. You know, I'm not lucky enough to be able to live with my parents, nor do I really want to. I like the freedom of being on my own. So you always have bills. As an adult student, you always have bills to pay. I luckily got done paying my car last year, so I was able to kind of step back and, you know, kind of focus on getting my education and then also just paying for my education. I do go to a community college, which allows me to make monthly payments towards my education, and the way that works is I give a deposit at the beginning of the school semester, and then every month until my semester's over I give a monthly payment. It's kind of like making a car payment, you know? So I've been able to invest in my future and in myself in that way. I am going to school for mechanical engineering, and I started, you know, I dropped out of school when I was 19. I did a full year, didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I dropped out of school. And then when I was 25, I decided to go back to school, which meant that I moved from a small town to a larger city. And then I got a job here. My job is I love my job. It's very important and I love everything that I do. However, it is important for me to have a job that works with my school schedule because my school schedule changes a lot. Now, if I had a job that had consistent hours, then I would just work around that. But because I am a florist, you know, hours and times off and days off and hours worked are different every week. So when I went looking for a job, I made it very clear that I am a student and that is my main priority, and I would love to work there, but my school changes. These are hours I can work, these are days I can work, and then these are days I need off. Typically on days of class, days of class. Typically when I do have class, I request for those days off. And you know, the company I'm with, I'm so grateful because they work with me and my school schedule and they allow me to have those days off. And then usually if I need extra money, I will do Instacart and I will just deliver groceries, which is really just easy to do. And that's kind of how I do everything. Paying for textbooks, you know, because I am in a community college, textbooks aren't really that expensive. But still, when you have like no money like me, everything is pretty much so expensive that it's like, you know, you're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'm working towards being a little more financially stable, if you will, which is a little difficult to do, you know, and at times you can feel a little down on yourself because you see how long it's taking you, and sometimes you get a little, what did I say, impatient. So those are days you just need to remember to be kind towards yourself and patient towards yourself. Now, my days are very hectic. If you've watched any of my, like, a day in the life of my life, if you haven't, there's somewhere in the YouTube land, you know, they're really hectic. Usually on days that I don't work, they're either 12, 14, 16, 18 hour days for me, because I just want to make sure that I can obviously go to class and get a lecture. I want to make sure I have all my homework done, a study guide done, and then I want to make sure that I have written down any questions that I have, any readings that I need to do. I want to make sure those are done on my days off, because those are the days that I have the most hours to do something. So that's what I focus on my days off. Now, on my days when I do work, they're 8-hour shifts, and I do get 2 15-minute breaks and half an hour lunch. So on those days, I make sure that I have all my study guides done, and that is what I take with me to study. And I will study on my breaks while I have a snack, study on my lunch while I'll have lunch, and then you know, then just come home and do homework. And usually when I come home after work, I know I have about 4, 5, or 6 hours available to me, and I make the most of that. So if I need to write any papers, usually on days that I work, I like to do stuff that's easy for me, because by the time I'm off work, I'm so tired and so exhausted from the day that to even do such a major project towards the end of the night is just kind of impossible for me. I don't know if other people that are watching me have the same thing going on. You know, I don't know if you're an adult student or just a regular student. So yeah, it's very difficult for me. So what I like to do on those days is I will get readings done. So I will read my textbook. You know, if I have a psychology class, an art class, a history class, I'll get all of those done. And then I will go ahead and start my discussions, because I do take most of the classes, not most of them. I do have campus classes. I like to keep all my 5-credit classes on campus and then my 3-credit classes online, just because it helps me juggle everything a lot better, you know, and it kind of helps me be able to retain that 4.0 that I strive for every semester. So I will make sure to do my online discussions and after my readings, and then, you know, the following day, when I do work, that night I'll make sure to do my replies for my discussions. So it's kind of like an easy balance, you know. It's just, it can be very difficult, but I make sure to get it done, you know. Sometimes you have to parent yourself as an adult, you know. You have to tell yourself, hey, if you want to go, you know, camping or hang out with your friends, party hardy, then you need to make sure that this and is done, and you understand this and this and this. If you don't, then you just can't go anywhere. You're stuck at home, you know. Or if it's even something as simple as, like, if you want to go get coffee with your friend, you need to make sure this specific thing is done. So that's currently how I am doing my life. Also, it's difficult to kind of get time for yourself and your being. My partner, I'm so lucky to have the support of my partner, because during the time that I am in, you know, it's my semester, during the time I start school, he picks up the slack. So He'll go ahead and clean, do laundry, and cook meals. When I'm off, I usually clean and cook meals. So I'm just so grateful that I have that support system. If I didn't have that support system, I feel like I would just be doing a lot of meal prep to ensure that I eat correctly. I can't say this enough, but in order to learn, you need to make sure you're fueled, and food is fuel for us. So you can't go to class with a starving belly. So I just need to make sure I eat. You can't go to class with a starving mindset. So you just need to make sure you eat, because if I'm hungry during that class, there's no way I'm going to retain anything. There's no way I'm going to ask questions. There's no way I am engaged at all. You know, all I'm thinking about is food as well. But yeah, I think that's all. That's all that I have. That's how I manage and plan adult life, being an adult student. It's very difficult, and at times it can be discouraging, unmotivating, because you are tired. You're tired from your day, it being your day from school, being your day from class. Like, it is very exhausting. So it's very important for me to organize my life, and I like to write everything down, and I will not go to sleep until everything on my agenda is done. And that is how I've trained myself. That's how I've trained my brain. But yeah, that's actually all I have for today, guys. I hope you are doing all well. Go ahead and comment down below. Tell me what kind of student you are, and if there's any other tips that you would take or would want me to try. Have a wonderful day. Bye.